Alrighty, this is an emergency episode of the Creative Talk because we have to talk about something new that just dropped in the creative world, in the camera creative world. This new thing kind of changes. Well, let me go back. It's something finally new, if that makes sense. Like something finally this is different and kind of shaking the camera industry. The DJI Ronin 4D. What do you think of this, James?
Dude, holy crap. I think the reason I love DJI so much is because they redefine, just with like drones and gimbals, and this thing is insane.
It's crazy. All right.
It's
Well, if you haven't seen it, you need to go look it up. Do you have the specs up, James?
I do, yeah.
Let's start with the specs. What is this thing capable of?
Yeah, it's a full frame. Well, there's two versions, but there's a full frame 6K internal raw recording, and the coolest thing was that 1 terabyte. What did they call that?
The DJI's little hard drive thing.
Yeah,
that is pretty neat. It's like DJI has their own SSD, their own proprietary storage, which kind of slide. It looks like it actually looks like a gun magazine, like ammo.
It does.
Slides into it. It looks pretty cool. But
and that neck that just comes
the chicken neck,
the gimbal,
the chicken neck. So the main thing about this thing is it is a gimbal inside a camera, or it's a camera inside a gimbal. I don't know. What do you think it is? Is it a camera first or a gimbal first?
Oh my gosh.
Well, I'd say it's a camera first. Because
because that's the body of it.
Yeah. So what other specs do we have there? So there's a 6K version and an 8K version. And I believe other than that, they're identical, I believe.
They're pretty. I literally looking at both the same.
Okay. So you got
I don't think
gimbal.
I don't think the 8K will be out, but
man, so ProRes. See, when I first seen this thing, I thought, okay, this looks like a little, I don't know, gimmicky Osmo thing from DJI. It's probably like consumer fun, but they called it a cinema camera. And I'm like, okay, well, you can't just throw that word around, even though it is thrown around all the time. But like, what makes this a cinema camera? We got ProRes 422, ProRes RAW. ProRes RAW on this thing. Full frame. It's got, the main thing about this gimbal is it's got that Z axis, which takes out the bobbing up and down, the chicken head. So it just totally reminds me of a chicken head coming out of it. But 6K, 8K. It is what's the mount called, James? Do you have that up by chance? What does DJI call their mount?
Oh yeah, because they don't call it E mount, do they?
No, it's DJI's own mount, but it can be swapped out to E mount, which is crazy. I just think it's so cool. It can be swapped to E mount, but it's I forget what they call it. DJI's own proprietary lens mount, and they have their own lenses. Is it called a P mount or something? Oh my gosh. Well, anyways, so I think it's the same one as their Inspire cameras. It's that mount. So it's interchangeable lenses, which the Inspires have that too, but this is full frame interchangeable lenses. It can be swapped to E mount, and with that, you can go to E mount with an EF adapter. So you can use Canon lenses on this thing too, and you can use it's wicked, and you can also use PL lenses. Oh my gosh, I made a list here. Full frame, built-in NDs on this thing. How many? Oh, I don't even know. I didn't even look. The fact that it has any kind of built-in is amazing. I don't know what it was. I was wondering that too, but I didn't see it written anywhere. And you got that external wireless monitor that I don't know. I don't know if it comes with it. Or I know there's combos. So let's start off. I'm gonna go ahead. Let me go over the frame rates on this. So in full frame, you can do, I know this is important to some people. Full frame, you can do up to 48 frames per second. Okay. And this is the 6K. I don't know about, I think this may be the same for 8K, but this is based off the 6K version. 48 frames per second in full frame. You can do I think it's called like I don't know, the cine crop. It crops in a little bit and you can do up to 60 frames. And then in 2K full frame, you can do 100 frames a second. And then if you drop it into Super 35 crop, you can do up to 120 frames per second. Yeah. And it's a dual native ISO. That seems to be the trend with all these new cameras now. And the base is 800 and 5,000, which is pretty cool. So, oh my God. Bro, I haven't been this excited for something in the industry in a long time, a very long time. And it's when I first seen this, like I said, I was like, oh, it caught my eye because it looks weird. It looks like a chicken poking its head out of a cage is what it looks like. But, and then I started watching stuff and looking into it. I'm like, no way, no way. And then I'm more excited at first. And I know I just shot a video over on my other YouTube channel, Absorb Media, where I did like kind of my first impressions. And I really, when I made that video, I wasn't thinking this is cool, but I wasn't thinking it would be cool for me. But now the more I keep seeing and thinking about it, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should buy this thing. So I don't know where to start. My notes are kind of everywhere here on just like things I want to talk about with this thing.
I guess the biggest question though is if you didn't buy the FX6 and you're like, wait, the FX6 or this? Do you think you'd still do the FX6?
So I've been back and forth in my head a lot with this because I can use E-mount lenses on this thing. But so there's a couple thoughts on this thing. And I don't have the FX6 yet. Speaking of, if you just watched the last episode, we talked about this. I just got notified today my FX6 is pushed out to next month again.
Woo! Freaking bummer,
Yes.
dude.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm asking him like, hey, like, when is there an estimated time? And then the guy messaged back and he said, it's going to be the same time they told you last time. And I was like, well, they told me it was going to ship this week. And then this was just a little chat back and forth, on B&H. And he said, they know it's next month. I was like, well, I must have misread that chat because I'm pretty sure they told me, I'm pretty sure I got to go back and find that transcript. They told me October 15th, and then,
are they saying they're saying November 15th? Is that what they said?
Yeah, November 15th is when they will get it. So then they got to process it, which takes a couple days and then ship it. So I probably won't get it till the end of November. Maybe. I'm done. I don't even have an FX6. If it shows up, it shows up. But I'll just buy this thing for now. But
yeah,
honestly,
exactly.
I was sitting there thinking, I'll probably pre-order this DJI 4D and get this before my FX6. Now, but when it comes down to like... But the question is that I think you're asking is, am I going to cancel my FX6 and buy this thing?
Oh boy.
I don't know. Well, the answer is no. I'm not going to do that. And and there's a couple of reasons why. This 4D, it can only take small lenses, It is a full frame. And I can put my E-mount lenses on there, but like the 24-70, Sigma 24-70, I don't think that thing could hold that. And I've seen other people talking about that.
Yeah.
I think it's only going to be restricted to smaller lenses.
Yeah, because Sigma lenses are heavy. So
oh yeah,
I don't think. Yeah, I doubt it could.
And the second thing is my biggest thing is I do like some of that freehand look sometimes, and you can lock that gimbal off. But I watched I think it was Parker Walbeck. I think one of the videos on YouTube, and he locked them off, but it wiggles. It's like loose, So like it kind of has this little wiggle to it when he was freehanding it when you lock it off. So I don't know. That would bug me. That would really bug me if I don't want that gimbal look or feel.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a real make it or break it for me. Because if I'm stuck to a gimbal, I'd rather not have one. Because I can still put any camera on a gimbal, even without that Z-axis. Which with that Z-axis, it almost makes the footage look like a steady cam. It doesn't even, it doesn't really have that gimbal. It gets rid of that gimbal look. But yeah, so no, I'm not going to cancel my FX6 for this. But I was talking to Caitlin about this. If I should sell my RS2 that I just bought with like a Blackmagic bundle, because I was like, I have a second 4K that just lives on the RS2. It's the whole purpose of that. The whole purpose of that camera and that gimbal for me is they just live together. They're just joined as one, and that's all they do. I have that on every shoot just in case I need the gimbal to grab and go. But that's kind of what this camera is like a ready to
It
go
yeah,
gimbal.
it's all built in one.
Yeah, so with the
Y
FX6 having 10-bit, the option of RAW, and then this has ProRes RAW internally, or even just the 422 HQ,
Mhm.
I would absolutely love to have those two cameras as my package. Just two backpacks, FX6, couple lenses, this camera, this 4D and a couple lenses. There's my gimbal specialty shots. There's my FX6. Because that's how I see this camera. I see it as like
Mhm.
a drone or something. It's kind of a specialty supplementary camera as a tool if you need those kind of shots.
Now would you still keep your one of the 4Ks, or you think about selling both, or
I think I'd keep one. So
think
what
you
we
want
had talked about is I decided I would probably only get what, like 2 grand out of selling the RS2 and the
Yeah,
Black Magic. So I was like,
mhm.
I think those cameras are worth it more to me because I was thinking when I hire people out, it's probably better for me to have a kit for them. Or like when I have people I hire to go do some live streams for a client of mine, and like usually to lend them a camera and get that back. But if I had an
Right.
extra Black Magic, it'd probably be good just to kind of hold on to this. You're on call when I just having spare cameras is always good for me because I have people
Yeah,
out at
definitely.
different locations, and yeah, not only just myself, but other people I may hire. So I think it's worth it. It's worth more to me to keep it. But yeah, so I'm
Mhm.
probably not something. But I'm really tempted to buy this thing. I really am. But I did say in my video on over on my channel, I did
Mhm.
mention that there's nothing that this thing has or can do that I can't do.
That you can yeah, which
Yeah, so like,
yeah, that's true. I mean, I
I
guess
mean,
it just means, like, I guess you're not even really taking that much less gear. It's just really a camera, the gimbal, and
yeah, set it
uh
up balancing. I mean, that'd be nice not to ever have to balance the thing. Just pull it out of the
right.
bag. Like that is amazing, and
Yeah,
that's
balance
what
is
really
so
draws me to this
quick.
thing. I
Like
mean, like it just, I don't know. So and then someone brought up doing weddings with it, and I was like, oh my gosh, like this thing is the ultimate run and gun camera. It really is. Like when you talk run and gun, this camera is run and gun like through and through. It's going to change the way a lot of people shoot things. A
Mhm.
lot. Do you see
Yeah.
yourself ever getting one? Are you going to pre-order one?
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know if Shelly would let me. But,
Well, it's only the price of a nice
no.
car.
Right, exactly, who cares?
Yeah.
But I know we kinda talked about earlier, like, it being like a startup type of thing for people, like, if they're, like, just now getting into it. I think you did
Yeah.
you mention it in your video?
I did mention it, but I'm glad you
Mhm.
brought that up because I didn't talk about it very well. Like, yeah, when I say like a good starter camera, I don't mean like this is a beginner camera.
Yeah.
Like, I mean like, just go buy 7 grand, go down to Best Buy, apply for a credit card. No, I don't even know. I wonder if Best Buy is going to sell this thing. They sell a lot of DJI stuff, but
Oh, yeah. I
not.
don't know, this is kinda higher price, so I don't know.
Yeah, and I didn't like in my video I mentioned too like somebody with an A7 III. I meant like anybody coming from the DSLR who is starting to like kick it up a notch and they're starting to pick up
Mhm.
more clients. Like they have income. You already have a business. You're already making stuff, but you're still in the early stages. I think this would be like it's an all-in-one package. It is an investment. It'd be a big investment to make in yourself and your company. But if you don't have a gimbal and you don't have a lot of the stuff, you don't have raw, you're not used to shooting ProRes, but
I mean
you want to step it up.
it's a one-man band camera.
It
It really
it
is.
is. It's so crazy. I mean, this it, I didn't even so it's got LiDAR,
Mhm.
which has the LiDAR. Have you seen that, how that works, the LiDAR focus where
I
it's
seen
not
a little bit in Matt like, I watched Maddie's video, I didn't,
yeah,
he didn't go too
he
in depth in it, but
he mentioned it.
mhm,
So the way it works is, uses LiDAR technology to like sense what's in front of it, and then you get that top-down view of pulling focus, which is
mhm,
looks like the best way to pull focused, honestly. It is like having that kind of view. So the LiDAR is not new. The RS2 is the attachment. I don't have it, but you can buy it and put it on the RS2, and then you got the focus motors that work with it, and you can put manual lenses on the RS2 and get autofocus, which is appealing to me because now I can get autofocus on my Black Magics.
mhm.
So I don't know how well it actually works in the real world, but it looks like online that it's working well for a lot of people. But You have that, and then I seen people with the touch screen, and anybody familiar with DJI drones, you can just drag a box and track them.
Yeah.
You can do that on this thing, on the Ronin 4D. Just drag and track somebody like that. So if you're
Dude, these
hanging this
things.
thing out of a car, you could just drag a box around like in a car or a motorcycle, or if you're filming something moving, and just don't drop it, and it's gonna keep it in focus and keep it in the frame. Now, I don't know if there's a feature if you can drag a box around it, like move it left and right, like position them on the thirds if that's where you want it, or if it's
Mhm.
always like centered. That's something I never liked about the DJI drones, which I haven't
Yeah.
messed with that too much. I do it all manual, but I wonder there probably is a way out there. I wonder if someone knows if you can do you know? Can you like drag a box on someone on the drone and like have them place it on the third?
I think you can on the newer drones. I don't think you can on the one I have. I think
Yeah.
that started after the I don't think the DJI Phantom 4 Pro does it. I don't think.
I had the Mavic
Yeah.
Air too, and I think I want to say I've played with it a little bit, but I don't know. I really need to get out and play with that drone. I always pull it out and shoots, and I'm just too. I'm usually on time crunch. Just not have time to experiment.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah. So DJI has always made. I've always loved them for what they make. They always make quality stuff. But
Mhm.
with the Osmo Pocket, which I have, and the Osmo Pocket 2, and the Osmo Action they've come out with, and then they make the Mavic Air, the Mavic Air, the Mavic Mini. I was like, oh, I think they're starting to lean more toward. They're focusing on like consumer products and not like prosumer or professional. They still have the
Mhm.
Ronin. They make all that. I mean, they're everywhere all over the market. From
Oh, yeah.
super high end professional to consumer Christmas presents for your kid kind of drone stuff. And and I've always loved it about them because they're from up and down on whatever end of the market, it's quality. Then they released this cinema camera. Like DJI just stepped into the cinema camera world. Like this thing is sitting next to the FX6s. It's sitting next to the Reds right now. People are starting to compare the Komodos to this because of the
Well,
image quality.
just think if this is what they do when they drop their first cinema camera, just think what it's gonna look like in, like, 5 years.
Oh, it's crazy. And that's I keep
Yeah.
I mean, we were just talking about that last episode. What are cameras gonna look like? And like, we're talking
And then this
about Elon
happens.
making this thing make film with your brain. Well, like we're getting close. This camera kind of does
Yeah.
everything for you. Yeah, I think this is a great
Well
investment for that person who's finally making an income as a business and not quite there to like hire anybody, but they need
mhm.
somebody, but they can make that upfront purchase or get a small business loan to get this thing, you know? And
Yeah, it
I
makes me it would be so fun to just see people's reactions. Like, you're taking this thing to a wedding, and they're just kinda like, "What is
is that a
that?"
chicken?
Well, it's like it's got me really curious 'cause, um, you know, DJI dropping this that was yesterday, right? No,
Yeah,
today.
it was
Yeah,
yesterday.
yesterday.
No, it was yesterday, right?
And I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it was yesterday. Yeah,
And I seen
as of
a,
recording this.
post today by them where the 27th of this month, they're dropping something else.
Yeah, I don't know what that could be.
Yeah, I
Like, what
don't
else could
know.
be?
I'm like, "What are you guys like?"
You know what? I'm gonna guess it's the Mavic Pro 3.
You
I'm
think so?
calling it. I'm calling it. That's what it is. I bet it's
Yeah,
gonna be Mavic Pro
maybe.
3 and something else. I bet they'll have more, but I bet the Mavic Pro 3 is gonna be announced. It's about time. I
Man.
mean, I'm glad I didn't buy the Pro 2 yet. I've been
Yeah,
happy with my
yep.
Air. I do need to step it up in the drone quality a little bit. I would love to have the 10
Yeah,
bit in the Air.
my problem is it's like I never really have anything to where actually, somebody that I used to work with, at the old hospital, um, just asked me, he was like, "Hey, yeah, we're moving to Florida, and my wife and I," he's like, "and I need some drone footage of the house that we're selling." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." I was like, "So that's like the first time I'll be breaking my drone out in quite a while."
Yeah. Well, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's fun. It is fun to fly.
Oh,
And
yeah, it is. I
sucks
love
is like
them.
I always want an opportunity to use it, and it just doesn't happen a lot. A lot of people will like, "Oh, you got a drone?" and hire me for it. Or how many
Mhm.
people started a conversation with you just because they knew you had a drone?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
People talk, but like though I've had the last wedding I went. They're like, "You bringing the drone? You bringing the drone?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm bringing the drone." And like I brought it up, and I had like two shots of the venue, and I'm like, "It's cool. It's a new perspective." But like I don't know, people they overhype the drone stuff, but
Yeah, I think people think you can do more with a drone than what you actually can.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, I don't
yeah.
yeah, like, it flies and I can't, but
Yeah,
But
exactly.
that's about it. Uh, but yeah, and I feel like this camera is just I don't I don't know. It's and you can also strip it down and go really light. Take all the handles off of it and stuff, and you can put it
Mhm.
onto like a
Yeah.
crane, or I wonder if there's gonna be car mounts. Also, I don't know if you've seen this,
Well
but the gimbal comes off the body. So
oh, it does?
yeah,
I guess I
I
didn't
see.
see that.
Yeah, and we really don't know why yet. Like, what are they gonna make different things? Like, I bet they're gonna. I bet it'll go on to the Inspire, and I also
Mhm.
bet they'll make some. Don't they already have like an RC car type deal? I bet they'll make a car thing for it.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure,
Or
yeah.
wonder if the what if that gimbal just comes off and they can attach that straight to like a car mount? So it's like this really light, full frame, small camera with ProRes
I
RAW.
seen I seen where Tilta, they already had, like, car rigs and everything with I seen pictures of it, I was like, "Wow, that looks awesome."
For the Ronin 4D.
Yeah, mhm.
Yeah, I thought I seen that too, and I
Yeah.
also seen a shoulder rig for it too,
Mhm.
and it's the
Yep.
most ridiculous looking camera on a shoulder
It
rig,
yeah, it's
but it
it's
is just a
insane.
funny looking camera, but it looks
Yeah.
ergonomically really nice to use with the top handle and the side grips that are in tight. It
Mhm.
seems like a it seems like a really fun camera to shoot with.
Makes me wonder, like, what with DJI dropping this, how does that make all the other camera companies feel? Canon, Sony.
Yeah, like
Like
DJI, I mean, I mean, like I said, they did make the Osmo, the original Osmos. Do you remember
mhm.
those?
Yeah.
Um, they haven't made one in a while, right?
No,
Yeah,
mm-mm.
the Osmo, and I've seen some beautiful footage out of that and some crazy stuff people have done. I always wanted one of those, so they were pretty cool. But then they made the Osmo Pockets, and I got that, and I thought that it's really fun. I like the Osmo Pocket,
Mhm.
but like to have an Osmo Pocket that could shoot, higher quality footage in full frame would be just mind blowing to me. And I mean, this is not pocket size by any means, but the
Yeah.
4D is like you just pick it up and turn it on, and it's you just pick it up and turn it on, and it's gimbal and a camera, and it's full frame, and you gotta turn on the Ds, and you got ProRes RAW.
I mean, if you think about it, all of that, plus if you get even if you got the 8K bundle, I mean, that's like 11.5, and that's still so much cheaper than, like, what a
Yeah.
Red would be.
Oh yeah, and
It's
it's
so
and
crazy.
and for a single person, you're not buying. Maybe your company, with 5 to 10 employees. Yeah, maybe
Mhm.
you look at Reds, but or even 2 or 3. Look at Reds, but say you're one single person or just two people, and Reds is kind of it's a huge investment,
Mhm.
and I don't know. I see a lot of people looking at this camera who just because of what it can do, and what blows my mind is it has all these features again. What I'm like, oh, that's all cool. That's all cool. Like it looks really fun to use. Looks easy to use. Built-in Ds. That's wicked. But what's the image quality like? How
Mhm.
does what are the what's it like to work with? And from what I've seen online, it looks amazing. And people are saying it's holding up next to a lot of the other cinema cameras, and it really is standing its ground next to like even the Red Komodo.
Mhm. It would surprise me. I've heard people say it's, like, really heavy too. Uh, who, oh, man. I'm gonna hate myself for spacing his guy's name. Um,
That's what we do here. We forget
we
names,
do.
or hey,
You
it's
watch
probably
him all
better than mispronouncing it. I'm totally
right.
was it
Because you watch
I'm
him
not
all the
even
time. He's the older guy from
please tell me it's not Philip Bloom. You're not forgetting
yes,
Philip
Philip
Bloom.
Bloom. Oh
You
my
forgot
gosh.
Philip Bloom's names?
I hope he
Oh
never
my
listens to this.
oh my gosh. We'll have to cut that
But
out. We're gonna cut that out, James. Not on the podcast. You forget Philip Bloom. Philip Bloom, the god of filmmaking. Okay. Sorry.
it's so
Go ahead.
funny because I seen a tweet by him earlier today, and "Yeah," he's like, "It's really cool, but someone with a bad back like me, can't really
Yeah.
hold it for too long."
I hope he does a review. I love Philip Bloom's I love
I
Philip
hope he
Bloom in general.
does.
Philip Bloom is
Hmm.
like my role model and is always inspiring to me whenever I create anything. I think just watching him makes me want to keep doing what I do. I love everything he makes, his style. By the way, if anyone out there listening is looking for some great digital education, his classes on MZ are absolutely amazing. Like I thought I knew a lot, and I bought it just because I'm a fan of Philip Bloom. I still learned so much stuff, even things that you just think you know about already, but just watching him do it, like, I don't know. I learned a lot, but I highly recommend that.
Hmm.
Off topic, but,
How much
uh,
are his classes?
I think MZ is they may have a subscription now, that may be
Mhm,
cheaper,
mhm.
but I think it was $200 and he has 2 courses on there.
Oh, okay. That's
But,
not too bad. Yeah.
yeah, they're amazing.
Well, it's kind of funny because I mean, most people that are listening to this or watching this, they understand that, like, when you say that the Cinema 4D is 6K is, a little over $7,000, but you tell us that to somebody else. I was talking to my dad yesterday, and he was like, "Oh, well, how much is that?" I was like, "Oh, that's a little over 7,000." He's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, but do you understand what it actually is?"
Yeah, they don't understand that, but yeah,
Not at
and
all.
I mean, honestly, personally, I wouldn't spend more than, probably 4,000 I don't know, I'd say $4,000, and if you're not making money with the camera or you're a very passionate filmmaker and you are actually making films,
Mhm.
I don't think you'd be spending that money. Like, if
Yeah.
you're dropping
Mhm.
7 grand, it's just a play camera. I mean, you're just good
Right.
right in there. That's kinda uh yeah, I now the more I think about this camera just for weddings, I want it
Mhm.
just for that. Really want it just for that. And I'm thinking that I can probably justify that investment next year. It depends on we'll see how many weddings are booked.
Yeah.
If I
That's what
book
I was about to ask you. Um, yeah, because you only have a few more this year, right?
yeah, about wrapping up wedding season right
Of
now.
reference. Yeah.
This fall. Which I'm excited to have more time to work on passion projects, but yeah. Yeah, I need to take more time to work on passion projects and worry about making money later. But um the and I just thinking like the no need to balance and all these
Mhm.
features and no sacrifice in image quality is what blows my
Right.
mind. And it's the closest thing I think you're gonna get to a steady cam with just hitting the camera without like, well, I don't know. We didn't talk about the tilt to float, did we? Like the tilt to float, I always want to get that, and because of the way it handles the footage, but like I know the prices don't even compare, but I could get the tilt
Between
to float.
the
If
tilt
I
to
bought
float
it,
and the
yeah,
yeah.
because I'll have
Mhm.
the FX6, I have the RS2, and I'm gonna get the tilt to float. I kind of can run around and get those kind of shots with the Z axis taken out. So, but
Mhm.
just think about that setup though.
But who
That
knows when the
setup,
tilt to floats will ever be
yeah,
back in
I don't
stock.
know. I don't know if I'm gonna pull the trigger on it. We'll see. But the I was going to, it was all gun ho about it, but then I bought the
Mhm.
FX6 and then like this stuff like this, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna hold off because I don't know what I'm doing right now. I may just want to buy this thing, but
Yeah.
this Ronin 4D. But the think about what goes into setting up something like a Steadicam.
Mhm.
All the parts and pieces, and some of them you need 2 people to even put on.
That part is like that's kinda what always kinda overwhelmed me about stuff like that, where it's just like, "Oh, man, that's, like, so many." Plus, it's, like, so much that you can lose and
Yeah, little
whether it's
parts and screws.
something.
And
Yeah.
then now think about this little
Oh,
Ronin 4D
man.
and just pulling that out of a backpack, and you got very close to those Steadicam shots. I mean,
Mhm.
a Steadicam I think is always gonna have that little organic 'cause it's more manually smooth, like manually, countered by a person, I don't know what word I'm
Mhm.
looking for. It's manually operated.
Yeah.
Where like the tilt a float still is using a motorized like gimbal at the end of it, where I still think it may not totally look or organic, I think is what I'm thinking. How steady cams have that kind of smooth organic feel that doesn't feel motorized, but it's smooth and it's super smooth. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah.
Because I know
But from what I
sometimes people yeah, I know sometimes people have, like, pet peeves of footage looking too smooth. They're like,
yeah, and that's I don't like it. I don't like it. There's something about like a
Mhm.
push in and pant, like a push in or pull out with a gimbal. I don't like, but I love a push in and pull out on a dolly or a slider. It just,
Yes, most
it's,
definitely.
I don't
Yep.
know. It's just something a little more precise about it. Like if I want that shot, I'd rather use a slider if I can. Like gimbals for me, it's mainly for like in our film we're working on. I know there's a shot in there. We're working on a practice shoot right now, but there's a shot
Mhm.
of there's a long one take walking scene. It's called walk and talk. Someone's on the phone talking. So the gimbal, I mean, that's kind of the only way to get that kind of shot. I don't have a steady cam. So I have a
Mm.
gimbal. So yeah, I'm gonna use it for that. And then
Mhm.
weddings, I mean, obviously. all the floaty dreamlike stuff you need a gimbal for. But like
Yeah.
events are pretty much the only time I'm using a gimbal because it's versatile. You know, if I
Mhm.
need a slide in or pull a shot, I can get a similar shot on a gimbal, but I obviously don't have time to set up tracks or set up my slider and stuff like that. So gimbals do have a place for that. But this thing looks, from what the footage I've seen, it kind of, what do you think? Do you think it looks better than a gimbal, or does it look like any other gimbal footage you've seen? Like,
Hmm.
do you think it
Oh, no,
looks like any camera on a
I think it might
gimbal?
be a little bit better, honestly.
I mean, I thought so too, and then I'm started
Especially with
thinking,
that up and down, the what is that, the Z-axis, right?
yeah, the Z-axis,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, yeah, okay. Yeah, I think so. I would love to see, like, this right next to, like, the RS2 and see, like, what the you know,
I
that would
really
be
wanna see that,
interesting.
yeah. I really wanna see that, and even something like the tilt-a-float. But yeah, I was thinking it
Mm,
looks so
yeah.
much better, and then I was thinking, is it just because the Z-axis is taken out? Like, does it really make that much a difference? And I'm really starting to think it does. The Z-axis really takes a gimbal away from feeling like a gimbal.
Mhm.
Like you were talking about those pet peeves, people who have those pet peeves, which I believe I'm one of them. I think
Yeah,
it's the
same.
I think it's the Z-axis I just don't like, and I
Mhm.
think this may solve it. But yeah, and the screen on this thing is a 5.1, 5.5, right? 5.5-inch screen, I believe.
Yeah, I think that's as big as my phone.
I
Maybe even a
I
little bit
think,
bigger.
isn't that what you have on your 6K Pro? Isn't it about a 5.5?
I I think so, yeah.
I
Mhm.
mean, that's a huge screen and a nice screen. I imagine it's really, I mean, it's, oops, I bumped my mic. Sorry. Sorry to everyone's little ears. So the I don't know, like, you don't rig this thing up, you know? The battery, let me talk about battery life. I heard someone say it takes or it lasts, I don't remember. Anyways, to me, if it hits an hour or over, it's good. So, like,
Mhm.
it's golden, and I believe it totally went over that. I think someone said they got an hour and a half. I could be wrong. Don't quote me, but its battery life is good, and it takes I don't know what they call it, but it's the same as the Inspire drones and the Movi batteries. I believe it's a Movi.
Mhm.
I think it's the same batteries on that. So it's, I don't know. I don't know. This has really got me excited, and it just got me
Yeah. I
excited in the camera world. I haven't been this excited in a long time.
I think yeah, yeah, I don't know, same. I can't really think of any company that's, like, came out with the even within the past, like, year and a half, 2 years, that cameras have just been coming out left and right. I
Yeah,
mean,
and I think
I
I don't care. I mean, was the
mhm.
A7 III just came out today, which,
What
or A7 IV, right?
Yes, A7 IV.
A7
Mhm.
A7 IV,
Yeah.
which, like, I'm not excited. There's Sony A something coming out every day, it feels like, or,
There
Canon
is
R something,
well,
and
it's like, I feel like cameras, like Sony and Canon, they're, like, becoming super predictable. So, whereas in
yeah.
a company like DJI, they're like, yeah, let me mix that up a little bit."
They're exciting, and honestly, now that they've created, I mean, they just stepped foot in the ring. They are in the
Mhm.
cinema camera world, and they are in it in a new way. They came in hard.
Now
I
it's
mean, they
gonna make
practically,
everybody else.
yeah, they practically came in with their own game at this point with this kind of tech on the camera itself. It's it's just wild to me, and I don't know, when I had seen this leaked months ago. Remember I sent it to you. Do you remember
Yeah,
this?
yeah,
Yeah,
mhm.
that was it, and it was real, and I didn't think, I was like, "That's a weird looking, stupid camera that DJI is working on." I was like, "Is this just a giant Osmo Pocket with a huge V-lock on the back or something?" But kinda. It is, but not an Osmo Pocket. It's a full frame. I just can't get over this.
Yeah,
I'm super stoked, and the more I keep talking about this, we better
I
stop
can't
talking or I'm
wait
about to
to,
pre-order.
I wonder if there'll be anywhere well, yeah, there'll be places that you could probably rent it and, like yeah, that'd be really fun to do.
You know what?
But
I might buy one
Austin's
and just rent
like,
it out. I might just buy it to rent it out. So if anyone, is interested in renting,
"I knew that was coming."
let me know. Reach out or email at the Creative Talk Podcast at absorbproductions.com. Yeah, no, for real though. I'm considering, like, I am thinking about putting some cameras up on ShareGrid and stuff. I have enough, but I wonder if I could get this because this camera I'm not going to use all the time, but I bet people would love to use it. So I don't know. You could be worth it.
Hmm. I don't know,
I
like,
don't know.
with I guess it wouldn't just have to be Indiana, but it's like, would you wanna ship the camera that like, how far are you willing to be like, "Yeah, okay."
Well, I guess it depends on what people are willing to pay. Yeah, but
Yeah.
but I don't know. I don't know. I just wanted an excuse to get this camera, but
Right? I mean,
yeah,
hey, that's if that's the way we have to justify it, then, you know.
I don't know. It would be really useful. Like I want my FX6 and I want this Ronin 4D. I almost called it the RSD4. I don't. Sounds like a Star Wars
All
android,
these
but
numbers and letters just jumbled together.
uh, yeah, I don't know. I thought this was a really, 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 really cool thing, and it's something finally new that just. I mean, like I just mentioned, the A7 IV came out, and I didn't even look at the specs. I don't know. It's like
Mhm.
36
I don't
megapixels.
I didn't either. Yeah, I just seen that
I don't
Sony was
know.
like, "Dropping the new camera," and it's like,
Yeah,
"Oh, okay."
I'm kind of like no, I don't pay attention to the DSLRs anymore. Almost, you
Mhm.
know. I mean, I'm aware of them, and they're fun to talk about, but like I don't dive into them and consider them. You know,
Yeah,
with
that's
the
fair. Well,
the
you're kinda getting out of that area, so yeah.
yeah. Well, we kind of have to, and
Yeah.
the
Yep.
I mean, I still want them for other stuff. I mean, other kinds of content, especially just, I mean, small bite-sized content I make for clients.
Mhm.
But where I'd want is a Ronin 4D for that stuff, you know? That would be awesome. Awesome. Just because I, grab that and turn up on a site set and you're kind of you're kind of strapped for anything that can be thrown at you, you know? With
And
just
then
having
later
the 4D.
later tonight, I'll get a text saying, "I pre-ordered one."
Let's hope not. Don't tell Kate. I'm just kidding. But
It was so funny because earlier, like, when I was at work today, I got, like, it was, like, 5 or 6 notifications at one time from YouTube. It was literally all about this camera. I'm like, "Dang," like, everybody
yeah, I didn't really care much for it. I just like just looking at it, I'm like, huh, that's weird.
Right.
The frick,
Yep.
but
We didn't
then
think it was gonna be this game changing.
no, honestly, when I heard it was full frame, that's what I was like, I don't know why, like that drew my attention. I was like, full frame on that thing, and
Mhm.
then interchangeable lenses. I'm like, okay, I'm checking this out. And then I looked at it, and I started learning raw. When I heard
Yeah.
ProRes raw on that thing, and it's built in, I was like, ugh. So
I am really surprised it's not more than what it is. Like,
I was yeah, I was worried, like, is it gonna I thought maybe is this thing gonna be stacked up next to, like, the $20,000 price range?
right.
Nope. It's
Yep.
sub $10,000.
It's
I mean, for the
so
6K.
crazy. E I don't even know.
Which one's more appealing to you, 8K or 6K?
I think probably 6K, to be honest, because I mean,
I
8K is I just feel like it's kinda overkill. I mean,
I think
I feel
so.
like a
I
lot of
mean,
people, feel like a lot of people don't even shoot 8K other than, like, most of the YouTubers I watch don't even shoot 8K. I think MKBHD does, but that's just
for
because he's
YouTube production,
MKBHD.
yeah. Well, like, I don't know what you need 8K for other than the
Yeah.
reframing punching in, which is
Yeah,
I
exactly.
guess punching in, you can punch in 50% and not lose a single pixel in 4K, like you have all that resolution. But if I'm punching in that much, I need a second camera.
Right.
I guess it's
That
nice to have an
that's
option. But
yeah, I feel like if you're shooting 8K, like, if you're needing to zoom in that much, you're kinda missing the mark and
yeah, yeah,
pre-production.
like how much do you need cushion there? But 6K I think is
Mhm.
a sweet spot because I definitely
Oh,
need the
yeah.
cushion. I
Mhm.
like to punch in, I like to stabilize, I like to reframe, I like to push things a little bit around. Yeah, 6K would be perfect for me.
Mhm.
Only the FX6 was 6K.
You
The
know, it's so crazy that it's
FX6K.
not. I keep
Yeah,
thinking, like, FX6, I was like, "Oh, yeah, that's 6.8." No, it's not.
I know. We're used to the way Blackmagic names their cameras, but
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
the FX6K. Unless they come out with a new model and it's the FX6 Pro K,
Pro Max.
Pro Max
They start going
Ultra.
after Apple.
Yeah,
Their naming.
man.
Oh gosh.
So this, I mean, who do you think are the type of people that are gonna be buying the 4D like right now? Like, what do you think it's gonna be people buying it as an A cam? For some reason, I just don't see this thing being an A cam. I
I
see
don't
it
think
as a
so.
specialty.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think, I think it's definitely something wedding videographers will go after for sure.
Yeah.
Um, but, hmm, but
Yeah,
beyond that, like, I don't know, it's kinda hard to say, like
I think you're right. I think, the wedding industry is gonna freak out over this thing because
Mhm,
somebody's gonna get it. Some other wedding videographer is gonna see it online. Another person's gonna see it, and they're gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, this." I mean, I think this thing is. I don't think there's a better camera for wedding filmmakers. I really
I don't
don't. I
think
think
so.
this is
I
it.
don't think
It's it.
so.
You have it all ready to go, and that's what weddings are. Just go, 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 go. I mean, that you're set. Get
I
this
mean,
thing.
maybe if you're like a one-man band and, making short films, like, maybe, people but, like, if you're not making money with short films, that's kind of a lot of money to
It is. So
so
you're somebody with a GH4 or a GH5 or let's say an A7 II. Like kind of an older camera that is kind of known for video and has good video quality.
Mhm,
But I don't see that person like, you have an $8,000 budget. What camera are you looking at? I mean, this is there, but then you also got the FX6. You have the red
mhm,
Komodo. I mean, what's going to make people pick this over that when you can get that camera? And if, especially narrative filmmaking, since it's kind of, well thought out and planned, like if
mhm.
I need a gimbal shot or I need a slider shot, I can just set one up or I can just get a gimbal. Is, would it be better to go that way? I don't know. I don't know. What do you think? Like, do you see anyone? I don't know what camera would you be coming from to buy this is what I'm trying to figure out.
Hmm.
Like what camera? I don't understand like where you would be. I don't know. That's why I think it'd probably be more supplementary or the wedding world.
Right.
Narrative, it would
Mhm.
be awesome for narrative. I think a few people definitely were gonna buy this for narrative stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it's just I don't know. It's just really cool. It's just a really cool camera. And I've always loved my Osmo Pocket. And I don't even tell you, I used it in my last wedding film. I used the Osmo Pocket. I don't,
Oh, you did?
yeah, it actually made it to the film. I usually bring it for like
What?
behind the scenes like stuff for Instagram. That's what I think the Osmo Pocket's great for. If
Mm,
anyone's got a
okay.
small business and you just need to create content, the Osmo Pocket I think is an amazing little content creating camera in your pocket outside of
Mm,
your phone. I think it's well, I don't know about these newer phones. I gotta see side by sides, but the I used it and cut it next to my Blackmagic. It was just a smooth shot down the aisle. I'd forgot my gimbal, and
oh, you
I
did?
had yeah, or no, I didn't forget.
Oh,
So I had this wedding had two locations. We had a barn, and then the ceremony was a drive way down the way down the road in a field, and then in the woods was the ceremony. So I left my gimbal back at the
okay.
barn, but I had my Osmo Pocket on me, and I was like, "I'm just gonna grab this shot just in case and see if it was okay." And I did, and it looked really good on when I had got home on the computer, so I used it. So
Wow. That
I
little
just
that small little thing?
yeah,
That's
so
so
that just blows
crazy.
my mind. So like I love those little products by DJI, and to see like what they can do with this is wicked. Yeah, the biggest thing with the Osmo Pocket is the Z axis because
Mm,
it's so
yeah.
tiny. It's so tiny, like it's hard to keep your hand. I mean, just this is so big on that screen. So uh, yeah, I don't know. Did we miss anything about this camera?
I don't think so, nothing that's out right now.
I don't know what problems you could
Like
have with this camera. The only problems I have is I won't be able to put big lenses on it, any
mhm,
like heavy lenses, even though it can take E mount. And locking off the gimbal. I've seen people using sport mode for this, but locking off the gimbal, just getting some of that freehand stuff. Say you
mm,
want to do
mhm.
like a chaotic scene or something like that, or a fight scene, or you know what I mean. If you want that freehand look, can you get that with this? But like I said, I seen someone use the lock and they said like it was really loose, it wiggled and stuff. So I don't know. I'm sure that's going to show up in the footage when you're running around with the
Yeah.
thing and trying, or yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, I don't know what there would be. Obviously, I haven't got my hands on one, but I don't know what you would hate about this. What does this thing need? It needs an editor that just edits your footage.
Yeah,
Comes with it.
really,
Just comes
right.
with an editor. Yeah.
Like, I don't wanna say it's perfect, but it's, like, 92% there.
From what people are saying too, and just from looking at it and reading online, it's probably the closest thing to a perfect camera.
Yeah.
It
Mhm.
really is. Like coming from nothing, so you have nothing, but you have the money, and you're just gonna buy everything at once. Kind of. it kind of solves all the issues you would ever need or ever have with any other camera.
Now in the future, if they can figure out a way to, for that gimbal to be able to hold those bigger lenses, oh yeah, hands down,
Yeah.
every other
I don't even,
camera
yeah, I
company
don't even
should
know if it
quit.
can. Maybe, maybe it can. I don't even know. I haven't seen anyone try yet, but I'm
Yeah,
excited. I doubt it
uh,
can, but you don't
yeah,
know.
because I'm
Cameras
just
aren't
thinking, I'm
super
like,
strong.
how heavy the Sigma lenses are. I'm like, that's pretty heavy.
Or what if that's why the gimbal comes off? Because they have like, I don't know what kind of parts come off of it. What if they upgrade or update or have a new version of a thicker, beefier head that comes out of it for heavier lenses?
That would be awesome. Oh yeah, might as well just sell
If
all your other cameras and just get
if
this.
DJI does that, first of all, hats off to them if they do this, because that would mean they're just selling an attachment, not like a whole new camera. So you have to buy one for bigger lenses or something like that. It'd be cool if
Mhm.
they could do it and like price it fairly, so people with big, man, yeah, you're right. If they do that, I don't know if it could hold, a 70 to 200. Can you imagine a
Oh
70
my
to 200?
gosh. That
I
little
don't
bitty
know.
it's so funny because the camera itself is just like, it's not very big, so
No, that's
seeing
why
that
I
lens
almost
on
didn't
the
believe it's
end.
full frame. When it says full
Yeah,
frame, I was like,
yeah.
what? But yeah,
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know, James. I don't know about this thing if we're gonna buy
Alright,
it or
I guess
not.
I guess it's time to hit that I see that reserve now button right at the
Yeah, reserve one. Maybe we should go in together. You gonna buy one together?
I'd be down.
Maybe.
Split the monthly payments.
We'll see. I don't know. People do that all the time. We'll see what next year looks like. But what is there a release date on this thing right now?
It
There's no release date that
says
I've seen,
it
is there?
says will be available starting in December.
Oh.
Mhm. So pretty
Oh.
quick.
Yeah. So probably before I get my
Well,
FX6.
hopefully. As long as these aren't pushed back too.
Yeah. I have so many projects next month, and it's gonna be aggravating when right when I wrap up my last shoot, the FX6 is gonna show up in the mail. December's like dead
Mhm.
for me, and
Oh.
I'm gonna be so mad. I don't, but
Oh. Hmm.
well, is there anything else you want to add about this camera? Is there anything
No,
that we
I think
missed?
I think that's about it. That we'll just have to keep our eye on this and see where it goes from here,
Yeah.
and
I
maybe give it about another 6 months, and then we'll get uh, the second version of this.
yeah. Yeah, it's upsetting when you spend that kind of money and like something new comes out. Like by the time I get my FX6, there'll probably be something new, the
Oh yeah,
FX8 or whatever. I don't know.
that is the problem with cameras though. Like as soon as you buy something new, something else it's already outdated
Yeah. And that's where
or
like,
outdated.
yeah, updated. Yes.
Yeah.
Whatever. The 6K. Well, then you get like 6K and 6K Pro where the update's totally worth
Right.
it. But
Yeah.
yeah, and my mindset has changed a lot this year, and that's where I really shifted toward the FX6. Is the FX6
Mhm.
my dream camera? Yes and no, but like if I wasn't doing this for a living, I probably would buy a red for fun, a red Komodo or something.
Mhm.
Like I would spend more money on just the camera, but I have more operation costs and time.
Yeah.
Time is more valuable than money. So like I need efficiency. So the FX6 was just smarter. But like my mindset has changed in the way of where I try. I say it changed, but I still come like I got to look at these things as tools,
Mhm.
tools for the business. What is going to benefit the business efficiently and keep creating content for clients and stuff. And when you say that 4D is like the definition of efficiency, you know?
Right.
So I don't know. That's why I keep wanting. That's why I think is why I'm so excited for it because I would
Mhm.
see myself using it a lot. Um, I have my eyes on it. We'll see what next year looks like, but I'll get my FX6. We'll see where I'm at if that scratches all my itches, and if not, then maybe I'll get the 4D. Maybe I'll get fed up with the RS2, but and just want one of those. I don't know. Yeah,
Well, everybody, you need to stay tuned because we're only a few a few months away to the till the new year. So we'll see what happens.
if we don't know, we might buy this. We might buy four. I don't know, but I don't know.
I
So
think
bad
Caitlin
I
will kill
want to.
you.
I don't know. I don't know. She'd probably have fun using it. Honestly, she'd probably really like using it.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
probably an easy grab and go. I'll buy it for her for Christmas.
Exactly. I
There we
mean,
go. But
I could already see how that would go. That would be
no,
hilarious.
I would love to do that. She's pretty, I don't know if she's gonna listen to this or not, but it would just be hilarious to watch her open that and then just the look. I could see it now. The look she'd give me, just look at me,
Yep.
like knowing it's not for her. But
Actually, that's for me. I just, wrapped it and put it to you. But
how hilarious would it be if I just we're gonna have a tree in the living room and just if I just had like one present there and it's like from Santa to me, like don't say nothing about it. Just
yes.
wonder what it is. Oh no way. But
Okay, this has to happen now.
yeah. Yeah. Well, that's
All
all
right.
I have to say.
Yeah.
Just wanted to thank you for jumping on here so short notice, James, and just
Yeah,
'cause
absolutely. I was
we were
more than happy to talk about this.
yeah, we were both real excited, and I do want to. I should have said this. I should have said this at the beginning of the episode. The next one will still be outdoors. That's the plan. I know this isn't the outdoor episode that we had mentioned. If gave a heads up on, it's gonna happen next. So just a heads up. The audio will be fine. The listening experience may vary because I don't know what kind of nature sounds you're going to hear. But I just wanted to let you guys know that this was just a spontaneous episode we had to do because this camera just came out and we really wanted to talk about it. It's kind of hard not to talk about this thing right now. It is
Yeah,
the
and I
talk
think
of the
that's
industry.
what. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to kind of try to start doing. Those, like, because companies are bringing out things so quickly, we're just gonna, start making these last minute impromptu videos,
Yeah,
so that way, our
it's fun.
first reaction videos.
And they're fun. They're fun. Like I enjoy listening and talking about these cameras. So hopefully people get something out of this too.
Mm,
But
absolutely.
alrighty. Well, it was a pleasure as always, James.
Yeah, absolutely.
Until the next camera, or actually next
In like
week.
2
I
weeks.
mean. So yeah, actually one just came out as of us planning this, which was the A7 throughput. Alrighty. Well, we will talk to your guys' ear holes in the next one.